What would you do if you're the Lakers in the offseason? What's the one thing that has to happen?
They of course they got to get some size. I think that's the biggest key. They got to get some size, and then they got to get some people behind that bench to grab JJ and say, "Yo, this ain't working." And I think a lot of times we look at the head coach and we blame him for some things, and we blame the players for things. But always blame the assistant coaches because assistant coaches need to have the coach's ear, and they see things that the head coach don't see sometimes, and like, "Yo, this ain't working. We need to do this and that." And I think that's the main key. I love the coaching staff that they have, but is JJ willing to, listen to his staff and trust his staff? Because sometimes when you come in as a new coach, you say, "Oh, I got to do it my way. I got to do it this way because I'm the head coach. I need to do this." And I think sometimes it takes a village, instead of, the guy saying, "Oh, I need to do this way because my head is on the line."
Yeah, but how should Luka take that? Hey, you're fat, you're overweight. Like, and people now say this openly, as
Yeah,
opposed to maybe somebody said it to him privately. And I don't know him, but
me either.
I don't know what would motivate him because it feels like people are embarrassing him by saying this.
Yeah, and it's so weird that people talk about his weight, but yet he's still giving people 30 points. I tell people I don't care about his weight. You need to get him in a gym and teach him how to play defense. That's the thing, because you can give someone 40 points, but if you're giving up 35 on the other end, those 40 points don't mean anything.
Wait, you
And I
think
think
that you could make Luka a good defensive player?
yes, you can, because it's about wanting to. He's never had to because he's always had people behind him to erase his mistakes. You think about now there was no AD, no center, nobody erases mistakes in LA. He getting blown by, they getting layups.
Yeah.
If you watch stretches of games where Luka just stayed in front because he's a big body. The defenders, offensive players are bouncing off him. You just stay in front. And I think that is the key. And I think also he needs to want to play defense because so many times he saves his energy for the offensive end. I tell people all the time, if you can move your feet and get past and blow by people, that means you have some fast twitch muscles. You can move pretty fast. So there's no reason you cannot play better defense on the other end. It's just you just gotta want to. And I think a lot of times he doesn't want to. He'd rather just point.